All right, fantasy football royalty Mark Andrews joined us now on behalf of his go-to protein shake, Rockin' Protein. Rockin' Protein made with real milk and up to 30 grams of protein. Find Rockin' Protein nationwide in your local grocery and convenience stores. Randomly, this is complete coincidence. You're wearing a Rockin' Protein shirt on air. It's luckily here. Let's start there. Like, why did you partner with Rockin' Protein?
It's honestly an incredible partner. Well, thank you guys for having me on, first of all. But
yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, just Rockin' Protein is my go-to protein drink, and it's for me it's an incredible partnership. One, because they're an incredible brand and company, but it's also locally sourced. So this is something I've been drinking since high school, and if you know the taste of protein drinks, you know that chalky taste.
Yeah,
this tastes amazing. It's smooth, it's always good, and it's high source protein, and it gets me where I need to be.
So I just figured it out, Jay. I was like, why does Mark Andrews look so different than I am? Yeah. He was drinking Rockin' Protein since he was a kid, and I, was drinking like carbonated soda.
I thought you were a big protein shake guy. I thought you were in the gym.
Clearly, I am not.
We're going to have to get you on one of these.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe I too can become an all-pro tight end. So hey, listen, let's get this out of the way real quickly. The opening clip we heard you say on the show was, Lamar Jackson's going to be a Raven for life. He's my quarterback. Mm-hmm. So much talk about Lamar. Is he coming back? What's the situation? Have you texted with him? Do you want to come? Do you want to take back your feelings about him being a Raven for life? Where are you feeling about the confidence that you're catching passes from Lamar next year?
Yeah, if there's one thing I know is that Lamar has an incredible amount of respect for the Ravens organization, and I know they feel the same way about him. I know he would love to play for the Ravens. Yeah, that's something that he really wants to be able to do is be a Raven, and he is a Raven. So I think that I hold true to that statement that he's going to be back with us. But both sides just need to get the deal done. That's the business part about this.
Yep. I suspect that's the first and only time today anyone will ask you about Lamar Jackson. So I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
So we are a fantasy football show. Do you play fantasy football yourself, Mark?
I do not. No.
Okay.
No. But I have great things.
Right.
It's incredible.
How often does it come up in your life when fans come up and approach you? How often are they saying like, "Hey, you're on my fantasy team," or "Hey, I love I'm a huge Ravens fan."
Yeah, I mean, the name recognition from what fantasy football has been incredible. Of how many people love to play. Obviously there's a ton of good that comes with it. There's a lot of good people. Hopefully you have a good season and people come up to you and praise you. But people are competitive. They have fun with it, which I think is awesome.
2 years ago, you were the #1 tight end in fantasy. You were also one of the elite tight ends in fantasy this year. How would you take me through your season this year in terms of how you felt your specific play? I know it was a tough year for the Ravens with a lot of injuries, not only at the quarterback position but around the offense.
Yeah, I think you look at the start of the year. Within the first 4 or 5 games, it was like 400 yards and a couple touchdowns, and got to a point where it was like mid-season and things weren't just clicking all that well, and so it got a little slower. But I think you look towards the back half, it started to pick up a little bit, started to make a little more catches and make some plays, but. It was good. I think just the way the season went, it was a little different.
Yep. Now, I want to ask you about Isaiah Likely, who certainly in the fantasy world is a really hot name. We see the pass-catching talent, incredible receiving talent. What did you see from Isaiah this season? What do you expect going forward?
I love his game. Yeah, Isaiah's got a really good feel to how he finds holes, but he's an incredibly good man beater as well. So he's a guy that's only going to continue to get better. He's going to be an incredible player, and he's going to be an incredible player for a long time. I have a lot of respect for him.
Do you guys see? There's going to be an offensive coordinator change. Obviously, Greg Roman no longer with the Ravens. Who are you hoping to see? Is there a change to the offense that you're hoping to see in terms of whoever comes in next?
No, I've got a lot of love and respect for Coach Giro and how much he's helped me and this offense throughout the years. But I don't know what direction or who they're going to go after. But I think I'm excited. I'm excited to see where that goes, and I know that Coach Harbaugh and all the coaches and the front office are doing their due diligence to put this team and on our players in the right position.
Yep. Yeah, I think no matter who it is, they're coming in and you're going to be a featured part of the offense. No matter who comes in.
I think Mark Andrews is going to get his targets.
Hint to anyone that's interviewing for the job. If you come in and say hey, what I really think we do is you need to make Andrews just a blocking tight end. You're probably not getting the gig.
Yeah, I'd say so. So there's a Super Bowl on Sunday, Mark. Not sure if you're aware, but. So the tight ends have gotten a lot of attention, two of the best tight ends in the game, and Travis Kelce and Dallas Goedert. In particular with Kelce, what is it that makes Kelce so special as a player?
I just think he's got an incredible feel for the game. The way that his mind works, the way that he can feel defense, he can feel his zone and find that, and then he's got Patrick Mahomes that they got incredible chemistry. So I think that little tandem is awesome. He's also an incredibly good man beater. His routes are awesome. So even if they're playing zone all game, they're like, well, screw it, we're just going to play him in man. He finds a way to win, and he makes big-time plays in big-time moments. And I think that's what you got to love about him the most, is that he's just continually all game getting after over and over and over and over and making big-time plays, which is it's just incredible to watch him. And again, like Dallas Goedert, I've got a lot of respect for Dallas and his game, and he's a guy that's continued to get better and better and is at one of the top tight ends.
Yep.
Who wins the game on Sunday? And two-part question. Who wins the game on Sunday, and who are you rooting for?
That's a great question. I don't know. I think that both these teams have fought real hard, and they're going to be tough teams to beat. But Orlando Brown is one of my best friends, and so I'm going to be rooting for the Chiefs.
All right, fair enough. Keep it in the AFC, if nothing else. Right. At least keep the title in the AFC. Mark, talk to me a little bit about Tight End University. And I know you attended. What goes in at Tight End University? What happens there? If I drink Rockin' Protein, could I get an invite to Tight End University?
Oh, you'll be there. You'll be there for sure. No, it's just a bunch of tight ends, man, having fun. You look at the guys that are there. It's everybody's in the same position. Everybody's having fun. It's just a way for us to get around each other and hang out and pick each other's brains. I think it's an incredible opportunity for us guys just to be tight ends.
Yeah, it does seem to be a really close-knit group. Led by guys like yourself and Travis Kelce and George Kittle. Is it something where you're specifically watching them and they're watching you each week, pick up new things in each other's games?
Yeah, for sure. That when you're out in the field and you're able to see how a guy moves, how a guy maybe release off the line or uses his hands, it's always good to pick up on the little things. I think everybody can learn something by watching the great ones like the guys that you just mentioned, because there is so much to learn. It's always room to get better, and who not from than those guys you just mentioned. Yeah.
Can we get Isaiah Likely an invite to Tight End University as somebody who has him on a bunch of dynasty teams and would really like him to?
Yeah, he'll be going.
I'm hoping the new offense coordinator does a lot of two tight end sets as well, and both you guys are out there a lot next year. Sir. Just saying. Help me out, though, as somebody who's obviously at practice and everything and sees the young players. For the people that play fantasy football, give me a sleeper on the Ravens next year. Give me a player that should be on a radar. Everyone knows you, obviously. Everyone knows Lamar. We just mentioned Isaiah Likely. Give me somebody that may be a little bit under the radar that you think has the next step in him.
I think Charlie Kohler. I think just with opportunity, and he's a guy that I think will elevate his game. I think it was the one game that he played in this year. He played very well. So I think that he's going to be able to do his thing and kind of shock a lot of people.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah,
that's a good name.
That's
not a name that I expected.
Wasn't really on our radar. Last one for you, Mark. This was your third Pro Bowl that you played on the weekend. What did you think of the new format changes, and what do you think about going forward?
I had a great time. I was able to play dodgeball, all the skill challenges. We had a good time, but the dodgeball game was awesome, and then we had the flag football game, which I think was a great change to the whole Pro Bowl setting. We don't have to put on pads, worried about getting hit, worried about getting hurt, really. It was just guys having fun, flying around, playing a little flag football, and I think that lighthearted game was I think it was good change.
All right, good. So you're rooting for the Chiefs. You're not going to give us a prediction?
You want a score prediction?
Well, you don't need to do a score prediction, but the Chiefs are winning, the Eagles are winning. You've studied both these teams.
Yeah.
You're a football mind.
I think the Chiefs are winning. I think obviously the Eagles have a great defense, and that's going to be a tough front to go against, but the Kansas City's got a great O-line. So I think it's going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be a very, very close game, but I think at the end, you look at Patrick Mahomes and the type of player that he is, how fiery he is, how competitive he is, he's going to want this game.
There is a little bit to just the simplicity of guy who's been there before versus guy who hasn't. And
yes.
All due respect to Coach Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, their first time, whereas Andy and Patrick are back in the Super Bowl just a few years after they won it. Well, listen, Mark, we can't tell you how much we thank you and Rockin' Protein for making you available to us. You are fantasy football royalty. One of the elite tight ends. We wish you tremendous success, a huge year yet next year. Stay healthy, my friend.
Yes, sir.
And let's hope you get Lamar back.
Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it. We will be back right after this with more fantasy football royalty, Denny Carter and Lawrence Jackson.
Nice.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and RotoWorld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, okay, respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from RotoWorld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.